Namaste to all. Wish you all very, very happy Charaka Jayanti. On the eve of Charaka Jayanti, remembering Acharya Charaka along with his great contribution towards medicine. So when we want to go for a prescription of a medicine, the first and foremost thing comes into our mind from the perspective of Acharya Charaka is appropriate diagnosis. So the appropriate diagnosis will help us to prescribe an appropriate prescription. So until unless we make a fine diagnosis, our prescription cannot be made into more appropriate, more specific to that particular chikitsa. So Charaka was very specific in prescribing Avastha Vedina chikitsa. So when he considers a disease, chikitsa of any particular vyadhi, he divides the treatment principles into three categories. The first and foremost chikitsa siddhanta what Acharya Charaka explained is Hetu Viparita chikitsa and followed by Dosha Viparita chikitsa, and after that he explains about Vyadhi Viparita chikitsa. So Hetu, when we want to consider any disease for a Hetu Viparita chikitsa, Hetu is not the Vata Dosha Prakopaka or Tridosha Prakopaka Nidanas. Already those etiological factors have aggravated dosha in our body, and we need to identify the avastha of the dosha, that is very specific, whether dosha are in Koshtha, dosha are in Shakha, or doshas are in Sama avastha, or doshas are in Nirama avastha. Like that we need to identify, and further depending on the avastha of the dosha, that is Hetu, which is helping dosha to get aggravate and produce a vyadhi, that has to be identified. That is why in Charaka Vimanasthana second chapter, while explaining the etiological factors for the aggravation of the dosha or manifestation of the ama vyadhis, he explains Guru Ruksha Shita Shushka Dvishta Vishtambi Vidahi Ashuchi Viruddha varieties of etiological factors he enumerates. So while he enumerating all those things, he also added few of the etiological factors pertaining to the manas. So Ayurveda contribution is not only the physical variety of chikitsa, not only the Yukti Vyapashraya chikitsa, it also includes treatment of manas. So without the involvement of the manas, Vyadhi chikitsa becomes obsolete. Hence he included Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Irsha, Hri, Shoka, Manodvega, Bhaya, Upatapta Manasa. So all these etiological factors which aggravates or which helps for the manifestation of Samadoshas. And these Samadoshas further involves in the Samprapti of the Vyadhi and helps for the manifestation of the Vyadhi. So ultimately Chikitsa of the Ama becomes inevitable in the further continuation of the Dosha Viruddha Chikitsa or Vyadhi Viparita Chikitsa. So that is why the etiological factors which are enumerated under this particular context of Charaka Vimana second chapter, 8th sloka, along with Rasavaha Sroto Dushti Nidanas, along with Shotha Roga Chikitsa, Shwaitha Roga Chikitsa, what is explained in Shwaitha Chikitsa Adhikara of Charaka Chikitsa, along with Vrana Chikitsa, which has been explained in Charaka, even it is also explained by the Acharya Sushruta. Similarly, the etiological factors can also be included from the Vidhradi and the so rasa was sroto mula is hridaya. So whenever ahara rasa is not properly formed, so ashuddha rasa, which helps for the hridaya ashuddhi. Similarly, guru udaratva, so there will be a heaviness in the udara pradesha, or the ahara is not getting digested properly, hence guru udara will. Similarly, aruchihi, there will be no ruchi or there will be no taste for the ahara, there will be no ichha for consuming the food. Suptatabhihi. So Charaka Siddhisthana first chapter, while explaining Avarana Prakarana, or he has given an example. So while making a diagnosis of a disease, Shula Anga Supti. Shula is there, Anga Supti is there. Along with Anga Supti, there is a Shotha. So this particular condition was misdiagnosed by a clinician considering it as a Vata Vyadhi, and a prescription of Snehana Chikitsa was done. So Snehana Chikitsa aggravates the condition, even though a specific treatment was given for that particular condition could not be able to mitigate the condition. So one has to understand the importance of ama, the importance of avarana in the diagnosis of Vyadhi. Hence, alasya tandra hridaya avishuddhi dosha pravritta akula mutra bhavaihi. So these are the basic things which we need to understand while we are going for the Hetu Viparita Chikitsa. Further, after diagnosing the Hetu Viparita Chikitsa, Charaka in the next shloka of Charaka Vimanasthana, he explains there are two types of amapradoshas. Amapradosham achakshate vishajaha visuchikam alasakam. So Visuchika and Alasaka are the two important types of amarogas, and the Chikitsa Siddhanta of those two diseases have been explained in that particular context. He explains Alasaka, Alasi Bhutaha, the ama doshas which are Alasi Bhutaha. Alasi Bhutaha means which are not able to move outside the body, either from the upper part of the body or from the lower part of the body. They are alasya, or they could not able to move from one place. They are completely stagnant in the Udara Pradesha, especially in the Amashya. So he advises the treatment. What was the basic treatment? Ullekhanam. So there is a slight difference between Ullekhana and Vamana Karma. Vamana, wherein we go for Sneha Purvadi Karmas, followed by Sneha Svedas, followed by Vishrama Kala, then Dosha Utleshakara Ahara, followed by Vamana Karma. Here, Ullekhana, because doshas are in a alasya avastha, they are not moving in one place to another place. They are accumulated in the amashya. So Ullekhana, with what he gives the example. So for making Ullekhana of the dosha, we have to go for lavana, which is mixed with Ushna Jala. So Ushna Jala plus lavana has to be made into Akanta Murtipana, and dosha has to be removed out of the amashya. So what is the next point? After making Ullekhana, he gives Veshthanam. So we have to get internal organs, because whenever Amavastha is there, Vamana is contraindicated. Here without Snehapana, we are going for Vamana Karma, and this type of without Snehapanadi Karma, Purva Karmadi, Vamana Karma is considered as a Ullekhana. And here none of the Vamaka Dravyas were given, only Ushna Jala with the Lavana is given. So after Vamana Karma, after Ullekhana, Vesthana, to protect the internal organs, because an example is given, Ama Phalad, Phalad Amat Rasaniva. So if we want to take out the rasa from the Ama Phala, it is not possible. Phala is also going to be destroyed. Similarly, rasa is also not coming. Similarly, when we advise Vamana Karma or Ullekhana Karma in Amavastha, the internal organs are going to be damaged. So to protect the internal organs, we have to go for Veshthanam. So after Veshthanam, what is the next treatment? Svedhanam. So first is Ullekhana, next step is Vesthana of the Ura Pradesha and Udara Pradesha, followed by Svedana Karma. Murdu Sveda has to be given to protect the internal organs. After that, we have to go for remaining doshas which are inside the Amashaya or in the Pakvashaya has to be removed out. For that, Gudavarti is explained. After Gudavarti, unless patient achieves the good appetite, we have to go for Langhana Karma. So this is the basic protocol, this is the basic standard operative procedure has to be followed when Alasaka type of ama is present in the body. Next comes with the Visuchika type of ama, which is moving out from the Urdhva Pradesh and Adho Pradesh. So in such clinical condition, the first line of treatment is Upavasa. That is Langhana Chikitsa. Because it is a Santarpana type of condition wherein we have to go for Langhana type of Chikitsa, that is Upavasa Karma. What is type of Upavasa Karma? Complete Anashana Rupi Upavasa is advised by Acharya Charaka. What is the type of ahara you have to give after patient achieves good appetite? The best appetite. Once patient achieves good appetite, we have to go for Samsarjana Krama. What is the Samsarjana Krama? Manda, Peya, Vilepi, Dvividhannakala, Trividhannakala, whatever been explained under the context of Samsarjana Krama has to be advised. Similarly, next is once patient achieves good appetite, Kshudha Pravrittihi, then you have to prescribe Pachana and Deepana Aushadis. That too in a Alpamatra Upayogitva. So, very little quantity of Agnidipaka and Amapachaka Aushadas has to be prescribed. Till patients achieves very good appetite, we should not supposed to prescribe Pachana and Deepana Aushadis. So, when Pachana and Deepana Aushadis are given in a very little quantity, so we cannot prescribe any sort of Bheshaja Prayogas for Visuchika. So, the first line of treatment is Sampurna Langana. Once patient achieves very good appetite, you have to prescribe a patient with Samsarjana Kramavat Ahara Kalpana followed by Alpamatra Prayoga of Pachana and Deepana Chikitsa. So this is how the step-by-step application of Chikitsa Siddhanta was explained by Acharya Charaka. So that's why he is very scientific, very rational, and most appropriate line of treatment, guideline-based treatment principles have been enumerated by Acharya Charaka. So Amapradosajanam Punarvikaranam Apatarpadenaima Uparamo Bhavati. So Charaka Vimana in the second chapter he explains the best and foremost line of treatment in all varieties of Amapradosa Vikaras are Apatarpadenaima Upakramen. Apatarpana means Langhana Chikitsa. So all varieties of Shodhana with Chatushprakara Samshuddhi, that is Chatushprakara Samshuddhi Pipasa Atapa Marutai. Similarly, further he explains Apatarpanam api Trividham. So there are three types of Apatarpana, that is Langhana type of Chikitsas were explained because Dosha Viparita Chikitsa, wherein three types of doshas are there. Alpa dosha, Madhyama dosha and Bahu doshas are there. If you pour little quantity of absorbed. So Langana is the best line of treatment in Alpa dosha avastha, and in Madhyama dosha you have to go for Langana along with Pachana, and in the next line of treatment is the dosha are there. When doshas are ready to move out of the body, in such clinical conditions we have to go for dosha avasechanam, that is Vamana, Sechana or Niruhapastis, or like that. Whatever the Shodhana karmas we advise, that type of Shodhana karma appropriate to that particular condition has to be advised. So that is the next line of treatment called as Dosha Viparita Chikitsa. So like this, Acharya Charaka explained Ama Chikitsa in a step-by-step manner. That is, first line of treatment is Hetu Viparita, second line of treatment is Vyadhi Viparita, and next line of treatment is Hetu Viparita, Dosha Viparita, and the last line of treatment is Viparita Chikitsa. Vimukta Ama Pradoshajam. So further he explains in the same context of Charaka Vimana, second chapter, Vimukta Ama Pradoshaha Paripakva Deeptagnihi. What has to be done in this particular condition? So once Vimukta Ama Doshaha Paripakva Doshaha, the third criteria is Deeptagnihi. So once the Ama doshas were removed out of the body, once the Agni is the Deepta, doshas are there. That is the line of treatment. Abhyanga is the first line of treatment. Next you can go for Asthapana Pasti, or you can also go for Anuvasana Pasti, or lastly he says Vidhivat Snehapanam. Vidhivat Snehapanam Achar. This is the next line of treatment, comes under the group of Vyadhi Viparita Chikitsa. Amam Jayet Langana Koshnapeya Lagvannam Rauksha Odana Tikta Yushaihi Niruhanaihi Svedanam Pachanescha Samshodhanaihi. So this is the line of treatment. It goes according to the Charaka's principle explained by Acharya Yoga Ratnakara. For the Charaka also explained in the first chapter, that is Jvara Chikitsa Adhikarana, that is Tarana Jvara, Langanam, Svedanam Kalo, Yavagvas, Tiktakorasaha, Pachanani, Avipakvanam Doshanam, Taranijve. So once the doshas becomes Pachana or Paripakva doshas are there, then the line of treatment follows with the Shodhana Adhikarma. Until unless dosha becomes Paripakva, we should not able to administer, we should not supposed to administer Shodhana Adhikarma. So that is why the first line of treatment in all sort of Vyadhi is Hetu Viparita Chikitsa. The second line of treatment in all Vyadhi is Dosha Viparita Chikitsa, and the third line of treatment in all Vyadhi is Vyadhi Viparita Chikitsa. So on the eve of Charaka Jayanti, remembering Acharya Charaka, we always try to strive our efforts in bringing out and applying Siddhanta of Charaka in more practical way, in the way of Tadvidya Chikitsa Sutra, in the context of Hetu Viparita, Dosha Viparita and Vyadhi Viparita. I thank the organizers of Tadvidya Sambhasha for giving me this opportunity to share my view on the eve of Charaka Jayanti. Dhanyavadaha. Second one. Ella ಗೊತ್ತು.
ಲೈವ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ಯದ.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈವ್ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಹ್ಞೂ